ready. And so let's do it one more time. Metis and Moses, you better enjoy this one. The Score Esports.
Why not, Alex?
I love that plug at the end.
Why not? The Score Esports. Well done.
I think we are going to enjoy this. It's safe to say.
Yeah, this has exceeded expectations in every way. I think this GODsent team is showing poise above their experience, above their level that we thought coming into this event. This has been absolutely insane out of them, and it's almost like throw out what you know in this third map because it's gonna get wild.
Absolutely, and to come back, as the desk was talking about, from such massive deficits when you're already hamstringed almost right off the bat, to get yourself back into the game, and it goes to overtime, and I'm thinking, okay, this is where GODsent start to just slip away, right? This is where NiP are going to take their stranglehold. They're going to walk away with this. We're going 2-0. For GODsent to bounce back, I mean, that shows great grit, and that's got to be a worrying sign for NiP.
Especially if you're losing that first map so close.
Exactly.
And then to stand strong in overtime, you're exactly right. I mean, that's something we don't normally see. Normally, that's where you spot like the inexperienced team, the younger team kind of collapse. But all these players have stepped up. And we are going to get live into this third and final map between NiP and GODsent. The winning team goes to the grand finals of DreamHack Masters. They'll be facing against Na'Vi.
DE Mirage is the map. It all came down to this. Both maps have been so close. So for the final time today, guys, in this semi-final, let's hear you. An all-Swedish affair in Sweden. And it promises to be a sick final map as well. CT side is going to be GODsent. NiP on the aggression, sending 2 players right away over into B apps. And Lekro is there to hold off the push for now. Bomb now transitioning through T-spawn. Going to be joining on to GetRight, who is in A site.
Yeah, Lekro did insane damage, but GetRight has such an advanced position over towards A. He's already got out. He hasn't been spotted. Palf, I think, maybe spotted him. He's playing so passively in CT spawn. He does not want to get punished. Maybe thinking this is going to try and be some kind of split towards the B bomb site. But I mean, everyone from GODsent is all the way over at the B site. This is insane. I don't think NiP realizes how good they have it at the moment. Freiburg falls. Bomb is being planted. GetRight and Force have a huge job to do.
Yeah, grass is always greener on the other side. NiP have got the bomb down, but it's at great cost. 2 players dead. Pit's extremely low. GetRight's going to look to try and bag himself this kill until Lekro does finally get it. Meanwhile, Pit has fallen 2v4. We've seen NiP clutch rounds from these kind of situations before, but they've been smoked off. This makes it that much harder. Forrest charges through. He is going to find himself on the receiving end of a battering. Here comes GetRight. He gets knifed, but peeks around and destroys Twist. And now this clutch is doable. GetRight. Surely GODsent haven't just let this round slip away. He's been dinked, but the time is down, and GetRight is going to clutch the round. You can see what it means to him. He's hyped. He's ready to get into this one. They tried to knife him.
That is, I don't know if he was out of bullets or if he was just trying to make a play, but that should not happen at this level. This is not the time to be going for that knife. And GetRight somehow pulls off a miracle. That is an incredible round to win. And NiP goes up 1-0 in the unlikeliest of situations.
There's a 2v4 as well. GODsent, that should have been theirs. Lekro gets the first kill on B-Apps. He's there again now with the Deagle. Well, these are the kind of mistakes that are going to cost you in the long run. Are NiP going to go ahead and open up a 6-0 lead again? Pit opens up this round at least. He's been tanked down to 16. NiP again, similar to the last round, deciding to sweep around with the bomb. Not entirely sure where they want to go just yet.
It doesn't matter at the moment. This is just their standard anti-eco. Just don't make any mistakes, play very far back. They've already got 1 kill on Twist, and now they can kind of grind this round out with a big advantage. Everyone from NiP, they were poised over towards the B bomb site, just setting up far back in mid. Now they're going to reconvene over towards the A site, but that's where GODsent is stacking. They do have 3 members here, including the Deagle on Pronax. So all 5 members going to line up. Schneider's playing close. It's Palf and Pronax who are playing back towards connector. And that nade, look at the utility use and these anti-ecos from NiP. It's so superb. Schneider does get 1 kill, but it's an easy trade because of the HE grenade. And the smokes are lined up. Palf and Pronax cannot get into this round. They're going to have to just run through, see what they can find. Pronax has an opportunity. Brings Exist very low, or brings Freiburg low, and that is eventually traded off. And actually, now that the rotation has come in, there's a little bit of a chance here.
Certainly is. It's going to require a 1D, and Lekro is going to supply it. Now it starts to get a bit precarious. 15 seconds left. They don't have CT control. 12 seconds. This opens up their opportunities now for NiP. And now Lekro is going to try and get the frag on the retreat. Lands it on to get right. 1 versus 1 now. It stands to reason this kind of situation, the last player would be around Tetris or Ramp. He would have spotted him if he went into Palace. And Lekro has sussed this one out. He is absolutely certain that Tetris is the last remaining player. 1 taps onto Forest. Back-to-back craziness. And GODsent will bounce back into this in the best possible way. Lekro, take a bow. That was disgusting.
What a really ridiculous turn of events in these past 2 rounds. So GODsent, they fluff the pistol. They make a massive mistake, but Lekro, he makes up for it in this round. So many sick shots. All tied up at 1-1. I said we were going to have to throw the rule book out, but this is unreal.
This is taking it a few steps too far. NiP, of course, will be forcing into this, try and break the economy before it can get steamrolling across. This is the best start that GODsent have had, by the way, in this best of 3 so far.
Oh, and NiP, they don't want to give up the advantage just yet. They have the buy of the Tech-9's armor, Pith with the Deagle. GetRight has the AK-47s, and he's going to move up. Pith is the first one into the site with this Deagle, trying to find something. He's blind at the moment. They have at least forced the defense back. There's a kill from Forest. Very well could trade some rounds, but Pronax through the smoke finds one.
NiP have got the bomb planted, though. GODsent need to get a move on. They still got plenty of smokes and flashes to use. Nothing to draw out enemies, though. No incendiaries, no HEs. Good positions held from NiP thus far, and they also have themselves GetRight, who's coming up from Connector. Can he get there in time, though? The rest of his team, barring Exist, have died, and Schneider was watching out for that. Now it's all on Exist, going to be charging up ramp. The bomb is being defused. First kill goes down for him. Oh, he just doesn't have enough bullets. He doesn't have enough power. And Palf will get that defuse, albeit very closely without a kit. But still, GODsent will take the 2-1 lead.
Yeah, NiP at least get the bomb down. They do some economic damage, but they just didn't have the arsenal to hold off that retake. Mostly Tech-9s. Some good shots with the M4, kind of clean that out. So NiP do have to concede. This round they're going to be a very light buy, if anything, a very light investment. They do have GetRight gets, oh no, they go right for it. They come right back into this. So 2 AKs on Forest and Exist. It's a Deagle on Freiburg, the Tech-9s on GetRight and Pith. They have good utility as well. They want to stop this right here. Opportunity for Freiburg. He's blind. Exist gets 1 kill, trades away from Schneider, brings it into a 4-on-4. Freiburg is Molotov. He's got to use the smoke to stay alive.
Even though Freiburg was heavily flashed up, he did knock Twist down to just 8 health. So the damage has been inflicted on both teams. And this now gives NiP a fighting chance to maybe get themselves across this B site. However, again, we're going to see the tag team duo pushing through there. It's going to be Pronax and Lekro looking to get some frags down. Lekro lands the headshot onto Exist. Bomb dropped outside of the T side of B-App, so easily recoverable. But again, NiP are taking heavy damage here, Moses. Not looking good.
We've seen this from GODsent on every map in this series. It's this mid-round aggression on the CT side. It's been so difficult for NiP to handle. I mean, this time it gets him a kill. It dinks Freiburg down to 5. He's essentially out of the fight. Pith is very low at the top of mid. There's really not too many options available for NiP now.
Have to come down to some pretty ridiculous entries onto the site. 40 seconds left. Bomb still in the hands of NiP. GetRight pushing up from underpass. That Molly will keep the CTs at bay. Can't afford to peek just yet, but they have the player up on the boxes and short, but he gets picked off from GetRight. That's a pretty big kill as well. And one that honestly Pronax should be getting at least a kill from that position.
Yeah, it makes you believe a little bit more in NiP this round, but the big issue is Twist is on the flank through T-spawn. 20 seconds left. NiP has to go towards this B bomb site. Palp is rotated over as well. Twist is going to have a quick flank. Lekro just has to stay alive. Just has to bide his time. There's a kill, and there it is. It's a cleanup for GODsent. And finally, NiP with no bomb plant here, they're going to have to just give it up. They've had a lot of force buys as this losing bonus builds, but no one is over 3K. So this round is going to be a little bit easier for GODsent.
Yep, the economic game of chicken has gone the way of GODsent, as NiP will be tapping out this round. Upgraded pistols, but that's about all. They will be able to get the AKs next round, of course, with the round loss coming in. And 2 bomb defusals, but a solid hold from GODsent in the end. Then P9 for Twist, see if he can get some money in the bank. And another peek through mid. This time it's Schneider that's going to hold that one down. He does actually get dinked there, down to 53. That grenade has damage written all over it. Forest will drop pretty low. 3 players in underpass, looking to try and boost their way up, but they're being caught off. Freiburg actually lands the shot. Oh, a second one tap as well. And out of nowhere, now GODsent are reeling. They're staggering. Can an NiP go in for the killing blow, though?
Not quite yet, because they haven't been able to salvage any of these guns. Yes, they've lost players, but GODsent is still okay because no rifles salvaged. With no armor, no utility, and actually very low HP on 3 members. And look at Palf, he's on an information gathering mission coming through underpass. Everyone from GODsent has actually rotated over towards this B bomb site. If NiP hurries this up, they have no way of knowing this, but this A bomb site is completely clear. The only issue is, since they don't know, they're going to take this a little bit slower, so that allows the opportunity for Schneider to rotate back towards this A bomb site. He's going to be here in time, and now, I mean, Palf just continuing his push. He's saying, we don't know what's going on. I'm going to go hunting for the info, and he's about to find it. Forrest in middle. He's going to try and support as best he can, but it's Schneider who's going to be the first line of defense with Lekro.
Yeah, Palf's push is giving so much information across the CTs now, though. NiP almost in deadlock. They can't afford to wait too much longer. Lekro's AK and Schneider are going to both chime in, and that's pretty much the round slipping away from NiP now. It's got a whole lot worse. Lekro is going to pick up his second and third kills of the round. Full house of frag, Schneider with 2, Lekro with 3, and GODsent now going to be facing off against AK-47s from NiP. This is the best buy we've seen from NiP so far.
Lekro is having a breakout performance in the series on the stage here, as if he didn't already have one with his 30-kill Map3 performance just the other day. I mean, now against NiP, he's been solid across all 3 maps.
10 for 1 right now. Started this off blistering pace. Will he be able to keep it up, though? If he does, you'd fancy GODsent to clutch out this map as well. Aggression for Twist, going right up mid. He's going to get punished for that aggression, though. Pit is there to retaliate. Pronax, meanwhile, going to be throwing the incendiary up onto the mid boxes. Does force away a couple of terrorists to pick that bomb up. Relocate, but that's a huge opening pick for NiP.
Yeah, not just that, but exists in the underpass, biding his time, deals good damage on the Pronax, forces back the aggression of GODsent. Schneider's the only one there now. Because all of his teammates were forced away, Schneider gets caught overcommitting. 5-on-3 for NiP, and they need this round, but GODsent is on another one of their aggression, their mid-round aggression. Pronax is going to push up. He gets found out by GetRight. Not fooled whatsoever, and now Lekro, there he is with a nice headshot on the Forest. And Palf over towards the A bomb, so the defense is completely split, 1-1 at each site.
Oh.
And this is just, he's just crossing his fingers.
Exist. Doesn't realize he just walks straight past, and to be fair, I don't think that Palf does either. Oh, Lekrat's so unfortunate. You hate to see it happen. Now bomb planted on A. Palf with a huge task ahead of him. Freiburg lands the headshot. He's been stepping up over this last map or so. NiP finally double their amount here on Mirage. GODsent's economy, he's in shape to go for a buy here. Not going to be a great one, though.
And it almost seems like GODsent has won over some of this crowd, because the chants have gotten a little bit quieter for NiP. It's more just cheering for the good Counter-Strike we're seeing. Freiburg going for some mid-control, Molotov and connector. He's dealt a lot of damage. There's the ult through the smoke. Schneider finds it.
Now, returning the favor. And yeah, I think out of this tournament, GODsent would get themselves a lot of fans. The way they've been playing, battling against the odds, they have a very entertaining strategical outlook as well, especially maps like Mirage. Like, seeing them play so aggressively is very fun to watch. But is it going to be efficient? That's the question. Still in the early days here on Mirage, 4-2. But with Freiburg being the first person to fall, and NiP now need to go ahead and pick that bomb up. We've seen them drop it around there a bunch of times. Boost coming up now for GODsent, looking in with the AWP from Schneider. Again, GetRight will be lurking towards the ramp. No information really gathered from either side, though, thus far.
Forrest exists. Oh, that's the lost battle. Pronax gets exists, and that was huge. That could have helped NiP a lot, gain the mid-control. They know Pronax is at least in ladder room, although he's getting away right now, and Pitt's got to try and chase this down. It's not going to work. Forrest falls as well. GetRight on that lurk. Hasn't been able to do anything. Biding his time, waiting for his moment. It's just never come, so he's forced away. 30 seconds left in a 1-on-5. He does find a kill on the Schneider. Is he going to be aware there's one more on Catwalk? He's got to hear the shots now. He's going to win that battle as well. Transfers over, just pre-fires in case. But 20 seconds left. That jump just lets him know people are here, but he's not going to win that one. 5-2. GODsent go up big. It resets the losing bonus. There's enough money. I mean, there's enough money on the NiP side if they want to force buy again. We saw it a lot early on in this half, but they cannot continue to do that if they're not going to have success. But they're going to go for it one more time. And it's a decent buy. It's 3 AK-47s, full utility. Galil with nothing in the Deagle on Freiburg with a little bit.
Well, this is a power play from NiP. If GODsent lose this, they'll be into an eco, or at least their economy is going to be in a really sketchy position. So again, we find ourselves in one of those kind of scenarios where a lot rides on this. GODsent, again, maybe realizing that NiP have a very slow, steady, methodical approach to the T side. They're going to try and make the most of that, get themselves real estate, get themselves off angles. Just try and force through and fill in the gaps. 3 players over on the B side for now for GODsent.
Standard mid control for NiP. This time they're not challenged. There's actually a very heavy B lane. Pronax is on catwalk and 2 in the B bomb site, so maybe GODsent trying to read something. Freiburg takes early damage. Pronax remaining aggressive on catwalk. He wants to go for more, but Freiburg already evacuates before the Molotov comes into play. And still no losses taken from either team. A lot of utility is being used by both sides though, and it's NiP who's going to be on the losing end of that. They've got a smoke, a flash, and a Molotov left. This is not going to come down to an execution. NiP is going to have to find a pick somewhere.
Yeah, it's going to have to be brute force. You have to feel for NiP. As you mentioned before, they had a smoke. It's been used from Exist, just a molly and a flashbang. Desperately trying to find a player to pick off. So far, the CTs are just digging themselves in deep. Exist is going to try and push through connector.
Yeah, and GODsent is playing a heavy lean towards the B bomb site. Pronax is going to be the one who's got to find the intel. He's going to have the first battle. They're peering up at him, but that's a sick shot for Pronax. And a second one as well. He holds strong initially. 2 kills for him, and that forces Forrest to be a little bit more passive. But Twist finds him anyway. Get Right and Pit. They have something to do, and it's Get Right with 2 opening kills. So brought it down into a 2-on-3. He's going to remain aggressive, but there's no time on the clock. Forces him into an awkward duel. And GODsent again outlasts the buys from NiP.
Yeah, and he was forced into that duel as well. With 7 seconds, you don't want to die after time. That's just going to hamper you even further. But here's the Pronax play. Absolutely sick aim. Alleviates so much pressure from mid. Then Twist came in just afterwards. And just like that, NiP's chances were all but gone. NiP's economy now, you can see after that buy, pretty much ruined.
It's a critical play from Pronax as well, and this is really cool. So this, in case you guys, new viewer to Counter-Strike, it was a team called Very Games, a French team, and this was known as like the Exist timeout, where essentially you're getting so stumped, but it's too early or you don't want to use your tactical pause. You just stay very, very far back on the map. You don't buy anything, and this is just them talking things over. This is them using this round as a timeout. So obviously a little bit rattled by this defense early on, because it has been very, very efficient.
12 for 3 sits Lecro. Again, Get Right, really the only player that's been pulling anything off with 10 and 7. Pronax going to be peeking up short again. As you mentioned before, Moses, just sitting back, just discussing things, maybe hoping that one of GODsent's players goes for that information grabbing, as we've seen a couple times through the T side of B absence, even get a free kill and get that weapon. But GODsent aren't budging.
It'll be interesting. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what NiP is going to do in the next round, because the losing bonus is not fully built up. They only have 2 rounds of it, so it's not like they're going to be sitting on a bunch of cash. I don't think they'll be able to have an AWP, and if they do, it'll be glass cannon. And now NiP making their move. 35 seconds left on the clock. They've talked over whatever they want. Maybe it's just to calm down. I know a lot of teams just say it's not really about what you decide to change tactically. It's just, you know, getting your mind centered, releasing, like figuring out any frustrations you had, get them away, get your mind clear, and just move on with the match. But for now, just all Glocks, no armor. This should be a pretty easy mop-up. Lecro with a chance to have a really sick round here, but Twist, it's the last 2. It's a Ninja's Barbecue.
Pretty comfortable in the end, but that was effectively a throwaway round for NiP. Here we go. Now we've got the AKs back in. Pitt's going to get himself the AK. NiP quickly finding themselves in a position that GODsent have the previous 2 maps, and that's being well and truly up against it. 5 rounds behind already.
And this is a different tactic. This is them saying there's been a lot of emphasis from mid-control on GODsent. So instead of spreading out, instead of trying to take that from them, they're just going to go for a standard A execute, because if you have a lot of bodies at mid-control, you're usually playing very passive in the A bomb site. Splashes rain out. Quick aggression from NiP.
Here we go then, Pitt on The box is going to be trying to do what he can, shifting up the aggression here on NiP, and it's seemingly working well for them to start things off. Exist is there. Forest watches the close angle action on the other side of the box is so unfortunate. And somehow GODsent are not only holding their ground, but they're forcing NiP back. They have the player advantage. The bomb's been picked up. It will get planted from Get Right. Pitt still watching his teammates back. But this retake is very doable. There's 3 smokes in play. Pitt's there though, lands the shot onto Pauf. Get Right's gonna be pulling himself back. The spray control's on point. The first kill goes down, but he's not gonna get the second. And Pronax will get the defuse. GODsent will move 6 rounds ahead. NiP could see what they were going for, a more aggressive approach, but it just simply backfires.
Pronax gets the defuse. He gets 4 kills in the round. A hero performance from him. And it's not just that, it's the read. Whoever called it out, as soon as they feel no pressure in mid, GODsent immediately falls out of that setup and they rotate 2 players very quickly over towards CT spawn. So they actually have a very, very large presence very quickly when NiP takes that site, and NiP was not prepared for it. The ninjas just kind of fall under the slaughter from GODsent. After 2 very close first maps, we saw GODsent recover from such a huge deficit and on train. NiP is going to have to do the same exact thing now.
Yeah, we've seen GODsent come from behind, claw their way back into maps. How do they lead maps? Are they going to struggle to get over the finish line? Freiburg's 1D opens things up. He did take a lot of damage though. Here comes another charge onto the A side. Pauf is there with 2 kills. Very nicely done. He does get dinked though for his trouble. Schneider, meanwhile, is going to do the business for his team. That flash not quite paying out. Ooh, stays through the boxes. Going to make this round a little bit more interesting. Looking to transfer his spray across, and it came full circle. Freiburg got the first kill. And now, with his Deagle and his Galil, has to try and finish off 3 more GODsent players. Not going to happen. GODsent taking a commanding lead now. That was another force buy as well from NiP.
Then the question now becomes, when do they use their actual tactical timeout? They're getting stumped. Everything they've tried to catch GODsent off guard by hitting A fast and without any indication, with no actual execute. That hasn't worked. Mid control has been beaten back. NiP's running out of options, and they've only got 4 rounds left in this half, and this one is going to be conceded over towards just Tech9 and Armor.
Filtering out this time though. Get Right again is going to be lurking towards the ramp. Also got Freiburg in mid with the Tech9. The rest of the team is going to be looking to get around underpass. A very aggressive charge actually out from Forest, who's on the side, completely catching Lekro unawares, who's not expecting that kind of aggression. But Forest is by himself. Here comes Exist. The Tech9s are doing the business. Forest and Freiburg now looking to get more frags. Freiburg, the wrong side of the smoke. But there's Get Right. So these Tech9s have done such a good job. Pitt now comes in. And it's going to finish off with Freiburg. What is going on here? Everyone bags himself a kill in that round. NiP, in a round you just don't expect anything to happen, have picked up their 3rd.
Well, they used the mobility of the Tech9 very well. Forrest is the first one out over towards the B bomb site. He essentially runs through smokes and just jumps out, catches the 1B defender off guard, and that kind of spreads out the defense. They were no longer grouped up. Exist is boosted in the window through smoke as well, so it is very ninja-like, just coming out of the smoke, finding your kill, and just eventually overrunning the defense. And they've done it. They've reset the economy. You can see GODsent on just pistols now. They have a couple players with armor. But this is an opportunity now for Ninjas in Pajamas to catch up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, if the Ninjas get back into this game, that could be the moment. Let's set everything in motion. Or is Lekro going to do the impossible? No, he's not. Just 2 1-taps. I say just 2 1-taps. That does give GODsent a chance now. The only problem is that with those 2 kills, out of no man's land, none of the rest of the CTs could pick up those weapons. They only have pistols to get themselves back on this site with. So it's not looking good for them. However, Pronax is there with the CZ. Pitt and Forest have a tall task ahead of them. Pitt going for the spray, very nearly gets 2. Now it's all on Forest. He's up in the B apps. They know exactly where he is. First frag comes down for him. This is so important. NiP desperately need this one. Forest is playing it smart. There's no kit in the hands of the CTs, and Forest is going to get the clutch. NiP do convert after breaking the economy, but my goodness, they made a meal of it.
For how good NiP has been throughout this tournament on anti-ecos, the analyst has talked about it, we've talked about it. These are 6 shots from Lekro. But for them to have dropped the 2nd round after winning the pistol, and then that round comes that close, GODsent has found a way to make these work.
Just ridiculous individual performance from Lekro. 17 for 6 now. As you say, those 2-1 digs are pretty special. Just a FAMAS in the hands of Pronax, but the rest of the team is pretty solid, pretty healthy in terms of weaponry. NiP desperately need these 6 rounds. And they need to come to the halftime scoreline with something to play with. Looks like it's going to be an A-centric push again. Pronax right through mid, catches Freiburg completely unawares.
There it is again, and that's solo aggression. That's not even the coordinated aggression we've seen out of GODsent in the past, and we're about to see it here again. Letgro and Twist in the B halls are about to start just working their way up slowly. Actually, 4 members of GODsent at this bomb site. Now Pronax is going to rotate away. The A-hit is on. Palp is the only one here. He's got to play it passive. He's got to just play for the retake. Not smoked off yet, so he has a chance here to get a pick. But he's waiting for his teammates to arrive.
And meanwhile, Letgro is starting to charge his way all the way around the back of the T-spawn, so watch out for him. If he can time himself right, he could be in the money with some frags. Meanwhile, the rest of his team trying to hold down from CT boxes. Important kill from Schneider. Here comes Pitt now, next up on the chopping block. Meanwhile, as I mentioned, Letgro has managed to get himself through into Palace. Forrest is there. Get Right can hear noise ahead of him. He knows what's coming up. Just going to be holding Shadow. Lekro's not going to check this. It's going to be at the cost of his life. Gets round the corner, but it's going to get picked off anyway. It's all on Twist with the AWP. First kill comes down. This is so crucial for NiP again. Forrest is going to be holding the angle, but he's got no smokes. And Twist decides to tap out. He had a kit, but realized he had no chance of holding on to that. NiP will pick up a 5th round.
That is such a dangerous round for NiP, and they pull it out again. These are getting so close, but Get Right with the patience underneath balcony. And finally, these 3 rounds in a row have gotten the crowd back into it. NiP is back in the game. From this buy, it's a fortunate situation that Twist saved the AWP because it's essentially all they have. 3 pistols, the Mag 7, or excuse me, they have a deagle on Letgro, so that's been just as good.
He has been ridiculous. Speaking of which, he had a chance there.
If he had hit that shot, I would have just walked off.
Just rage quit. It was pretty close by the looks of things. Well, he does eat quite a bit of damage, as does Twist, down to 39. Freiburg, meanwhile, we've seen him hold this position a bunch of times with the deagle, now with the AK on mid boxes. Filtering out, mainly stacked towards the B side at the moment from NiP. Just going to try and work through underpass. And with GODsent's lack of weaponry, they are playing this one fairly passively so far. You often see teams in this kind of situation maybe try a bit of aggression somewhere. That's not the case here for GODsent.
They still have the AWP, so what they're trying to do, that's a nice kill from Exist. That opens things up nicely. Pronax is going to take his position, though. Counter-aggression where he just lost a teammate. And initially catches Freiburg off guard, but they managed to fall away. So all of NiP is just going to evacuate mid now, but what they're trying to do is figure out where NiP is going because they still have this AWP, and if they can get Twist in the right spot, he's pretty much gambling at this B bomb site most of this round. Now he's kind of going to cheat away. They felt no pressure in B halls. Pronax is now pushed up. They're going to clear out mid. Zep Pitt is there, and he's not going to let him do it.
Spots the second player in connector. He's going to get peeked from window as well at the same time. A solid work from GODsent. 20 seconds left. Bomb finally starting to push its way onto the site. And it's Twist, who started the round with the AWP, still has it in his hands. An AK in the hands of Palf is going to put down Freiburg, looking for this boost. The bomb still hasn't been planted just yet, 6 seconds left. A key kill though onto Palf. That does allow them to get this bomb planted, 2 seconds to go. They look to charge right in. What is happening? Schneider with 2 kills. Gets picked off finally, Twist misses his chance. Looking for it on the second time of asking, but Get Right. The player he'd want in that situation picks up his 15th kill and gives NiP their 6th round.
We should have known, Metas, that NiP was not going to go down without a fight. It looked so dire there, but the last 4 rounds gets NiP up towards 6 on their terror side. A dominant start to that half from GODsent. But some insane clutches towards the end. It does bring him back, so we are going to send it down to Paula on the floor because he's probably got the pulse of the crowd.
Thank you very much, Jason. There was a huge, huge roar there for NiP. Although I do feel that any Swedish team making it to the final against Na'Vi is probably going to be supported just as well as the other. We will have to see who wins this match and goes on to that final.
Thank you very much, Paula. So, the crowd has been lucky in this game, as of we, to be fair.
It almost seems like they don't know who to cheer for anymore.
Yeah. I think, as I said before, I think GODsent have picked up a lot of fans as a result of this performance over this tournament. Especially on home soil as well. You feel like whichever team goes through to the finals and have the full crowd backing them.
Certainly sounds to be the case here as the floor is shaking now. Pistol round begins. And NiP, very big lean towards mid. Freiburg peeking window. Force and Pit are going to get aggressive off catwalk, but it's going to be heavy towards the A bomb site for GODsent. Schneider is forced away, but the smoke is out. Exist can see nothing. And GODsent is actually going to push towards connector. Freiburg is waiting for this. Nice shot from Pit, though. He gets the opening kill. Now Murder Hole is aggressed upon, but Get Right is there. Puts a stop to it. This was all an elaborate fake, and it's not working out whatsoever for GODsent.
Good damage done from Twist, long range with a Glock. Very nearly picks up the kill into Pit. Critical round for both teams as well. This gets NiP right back into it. You assume from this point they're going to clutch it, but we did see a 2v4 clutch in the first pistol round go the way of NiP. 5v3 is not impossible for GODsent. Here comes the boost into window, it would seem, for Schneider with the Glock.
This shouldn't find anything, though. Get Right and Freiburg are playing this very passively, just spotting the Murder Hole. Get Right's head is exposed very, very quickly, so now he has a little bit of intel, but, I mean, since they're playing it so passively, that's a good find. Schneider does get that kill. Pronax still over towards the B bomb site, but Pit and Force, they haven't rotated away from this. There's no reason for them to. Schneider is just causing a distraction. Exist still hasn't spotted anything at A. So it's still going to be a very, very tough sell for GODsent here.
You can see what Schneider's trying to do. He's trying to play the bait while the rest of his team makes some inroads towards the site. Again, though, NiP are not falling for this. Here comes the bomb. Be moving its way onto the A play. The bomb plant in this kind of situation will probably be okay as far as GODsent are concerned, but it could go a whole lot better. It's now down to a 2-on-3 from a 5v3, and with Pit only a bullet away from death and Forrest down to 64, now 27 health. This could get really sketchy real quick, but there's Freiburg. Twist now has it all to do, and Pit is going to get his second kill. And NiP will pick up the second pistol round as well.
Yeah, but now it becomes avoid falling to Electro's Deagle, or Twist Deagle, or any Deagle. NiP have to sustain this. That's what put them in such a hole in that first half. They couldn't recover in terms of their economy for so long that GODsent just kept having massive advantages. NiP cannot have a slow start to this half the way they did in the first.
Simply put, if they had that kind of start, they will lose this map, very likely. They don't have the rounds to play with. They're on the CT side now. It's harder to bounce back, economically speaking. So they've got to keep this going forward. There are no Deagles in play, though, for GODsent. Actually, just the P250, so opting for the full AKs in the next round instead after that bomb plant. Bomb dropped at spawn. A boost up here for GODsent.
This is actually, I think this might be the first time we haven't seen them buy any Deagles in these second rounds.
Yep.
Perhaps because they may be going for a third round buy here. That's what this would indicate to me. And if NiP, I mean, once they see what weapons are at hand, they're going to expect that as well. GODsent playing this very passively, but NiP, I mean, this is the thing. On their anti-ecos, they don't move across the map. They don't overextend. Pit's just searching for info at the top of mid. But he's not going to commit to any fight he finds there.
Threat really has drilled into them this concept of being patient in anti-ecos, not giving anything away. And GODsent will know this as well. Slowly but surely moving across to the B side. P250 on Pronax, all that they really have in terms of power. Get Right's waiting. The flash comes in. Pure timing. They have no idea where GODsent are at this point. No information has been given across.
Man, they call it off. For whatever reason, they found a read and they decided not to hit that B bomb site. Now they're just going to go towards mid, whether it be catwalk, as it just gets smoked off. Pit's going to be looking around the edge. He finds the first kill. That's Forrest, excuse me. So attention in mid. There's really no utility for them to make progress anywhere. All they're doing is trying to find a couple kills. They do get one.
That was so awkward. You could see Pit desperately wanted to kill him, but his teammate was in his face. Get out the way. Don't want a team kill you. That cost his teammate his life. I think it was Forrest.
It's not very punishing these days. No reason not to take it.
True.
And here it is. Here's the third round buy. Is NiP going to be ready for it? They have all the utility. Critical round here for GODsent. 4 AK-47s, UMP on Pronax. That gives him a little bit extra utility. That gives him a Molotov, perhaps. He's going to use it in window room. looking to be relatively fast-paced. GODsent. Pronax is going to lead his way up catwalk as Pith can be ready. He's got nades out. Pronax does get in the cover of ladder room, but Pith's got to be very careful, and he still has a nade out. Pronax is going to win that battle, not ready for it whatsoever. No one else at the B bomb site. Pronax is just going to walk up and see this is clear. NiP has to respond somehow.
That's exactly what GetRight's going for right now. I'm just going to try and force the issue. Lecro's looking into B. He's going to get caught from the P90. Yes, he is. Gets sprayed down. GetRight does eat a lot of damage, though, absorbs it. Forest, meanwhile, cheeky peek. Freiburg, 3 kills in as many seconds gives NiP a commanding lead now in round 18. Pronax and Pauf, both residing in mid. Pardon me, Pronax is out on the B site. He's going to get the drop on GetRight. Didn't know what hit him.
Yeah, but the bomb is still in mid. It's almost like GODsent didn't expect the B bomb site to be where they finally ended up. And there's no way they could have known it was clear, but Pronax pushes all the way up there, and none of his teammates are in position to take advantage of it. And now Forest, that might just be the dagger in this round. The bomb is dropped in mid, 40 seconds left. Pronax in a 1-on-3, and he has no clue where the other 2 members of NiP are. One's flanking from behind, that's Exist. And is this timing going to work out? Exist is hiding at the moment, and Pronax might just walk right by him.
Is he going to knife? No. Just go for the kill.
Listen, we already experienced 1 knife attempt in the 3rd map of a semifinal. Exist knows better than that.
I just wanted to see a knife. We've already seen a couple of shanks so far. I think Schneider got himself a couple of knife kills earlier. But yeah, unfortunate for Pronax. NiP have managed to convert the subsequent rounds after winning that pistol. They were unable to do that in the first half, so 9-9. Looking like they're going to take the lead again as a result of this round. 3 players mid, stacking up. We do have the Deagle in the hands of Twist and Pronax. And Lecro as well.
Yeah, Lecro's going to be very aggressive, but GetRight's there to shut him down. Wants no more of that. Pronax working his way up catwalk again. Schneider going to try and come through the smoke. There's Freiburg onto him. Pitt's going to next one to be aggressive. Good shot from Twist though. Returns the favor, and even Pauf finds one. Can't get anything more than that. And there it is, NiP. They take their lead in this match. The first lead since the winning pistol round of the first half. They're up 10-9.
Yep, they've been trailing ever since that first round up until this point. So for a good 18 rounds, they found themselves just desperately chasing. Here comes GODsent though. Full AKs, full grenades. No AWP though, and we've seen they do like to run the AWP on Schneider. Smoke down is going to stop the vision onto window. Make sure that no one gets picked off from the cross. Forest, meanwhile, is going to use that to his advantage. Just slightly peeking out of connector. This time, Pitt's not going to be caught with a nade out. He's peering across with the AWP.
Yeah, there's a time limit on that play from Forest, and once it starts to reach the end, he goes for the peek. He goes to make the play instead of waiting for it. Gets punished. So an opening kill for GODsent. They have 1 minute and 20 seconds with a man advantage. And NiP are running very fast out of utility. They've only got 1 Molotov on GetRight, 1 flashbang. So at a certain point, you could see on the minimap, Pitt with the AWP is just going to play far back in the B bomb site, look to get 1 pick and stay alive, but it's Exist who's going to try and make the play. They don't have any utility to create anything for themselves. So Exist has got to find the intel to provide them the information that they can rotate to the proper position, but is it going to be quick enough? Smokes are going to start coming out towards this B bomb site, and GetRight is on his way there. But here it comes from GODsent.
Pitt needs to connect a couple of these shots, you have to feel. That bomb actually, though, is starting to move across towards mid. That keeps the options open for GODsent. Meanwhile, Exist has managed to snake his way through into the T side, but that's not going to help his teammate of Freiburg, who was caught all by himself on the site. Now, A has been claimed, but again, Exist could be the difference maker. GetRight, and he's going to miss out on his chance. Exist now coming up, is going to stop the bomb plant. Down goes the bomb. Schneider's low, and Pitt's starting to move his way in. Can Exist pull off another hero play? He's been mollied out. He's going to have to relocate now, and that could afford them the bomb plant, and indeed it will. Here comes Pitt. And a second as well. It's all on Twist. And he's going to be peeking. Pitt very nearly lands it, but instead it's all on Exist. And there's Exist. Finishes off Twist. And NiP will take a 2-round lead. Pitt with 2 massive AWP frags, though.
That is Pitt saving the day for NiP. Huge performance coming out of connector. So difficult at times to clear these angles out. Standing in a Molotov as well. And the readjustment of the aim right there at the end. It was nicely done, and he gives just the opportunity Exist needed to win that out. 11-9 now. GODsent still a strong buy. With this losing bonus building up, with the bomb plant, you have the AWP in Schneider's hand. He's got no armor. That's the one. Aim punch is going to be an issue. Nades are going to be an issue, but he has been very, very effective with this weapon throughout the series. But at the moment, no one from NiP going to challenge initially.
Yeah, the glass cannon AWP for Schneider. He is typically an AWP that's going to pounce on every opportunity he's given, so it may not end up being a huge issue. He is peering across from mid. No one's home though for NiP. Starting to see that Forrest decides to take more of a passive position. We've seen him pushing out a connector a couple times. It has cost him his life. Gonna be peeking out. He could get double peek though from both catwalk and mid. Gonna go for the flashbang. No one's home though in Palace. That flashes his teammates in, so they're gonna try and look for that information, but while doing so, they could get pushed from behind. So Forrest is the linchpin at this point. If he falls down, this entire A defense could as well.
He just got so lucky as well, not realizing there's a huge gap in that smoke. Almost gets punished, but he's gonna get aggressive. He's gonna try and be a little bit creative. Gets in front of it. There is a boost. Pronax is inside of the window, and that might be the game-changing point. Oh, the Force finds the opening kill on a twist. Pronax still hasn't moved. He could catch him off guard. Exist again, pushing up. Grabs a lot of intel and saw at least 2 players. Does a little bit of damage onto Schneider, but falls away. Doesn't want to risk his life. This is a very Fnatic-esque play coming out from Pronax. Mid-control leads to a boosted player, and then they rotate back towards A. And Forrest, I don't think he's going to expect this whatsoever. He's about to fall here, although he hears the footsteps. GetRight gets the kill, saves his life. Forrest still alive, is going to get one more, and now Exist biding his time. It's a slaughter for the Ninjas.
Man, GetRight's kill there was absolutely huge for NiP. If he doesn't land that, you'll just start to see GODsent pushing through onto the side. Here comes the pause. GODsent out of ideas, going to try and figure out what's going wrong. NiP have shifted into a different gear right now.
Yeah, this is when they become really, really scary, isn't it? I mean, Pitt bails them out of a tough round, but I mean, players like GetRight, Exist. The amount of impact plays that Exist has had throughout the series, throughout this tournament even, has been incredible. He's hit a new level than we've seen him at in some time. But GetRight, certainly the face, the star of this team. 20 and 16 for him in this match.
There's the brains behind the operation for NiP Threat. They really have looked invigorated since he's joined.
And this
fantastic.
And this is where you talk about GODsent and you'd say, okay, the younger players, the more inexperienced players, this is where, you know, they really start to struggle. Are they going to be able to recover from it? The question has kind of been answered in the first 2 maps of the series. They handled the pressure very nicely. Especially on Train, when we thought there was a couple different points they could have collapsed in that, but they forced it into overtime there. Here is a different situation. NiP is starting to run away with this, and it is that deciding map. That's the big thing.
And in this round, at least, they're not going to have the economy to get a buy-up, so you're going to be looking at NiP being 13-9 ahead, more than likely. 4-round lead. They did have similar scenarios on Cobblestone.
At least the full losing bonus is built up for GODsent, so they can invest something into this round. They're going to all spend, you know, anywhere between $15 and $2,000. Because with the full losing bonus building up, no matter what happens next round, they're going to be able to have their AKs. They'll be able to have an AWP if they want it. Looks like Twist is actually going to be the one saving for that. Oh, as I say that, he just buys out, just to mess with me.
Get trolled.
So half investment from GODsent into this round. See if they can do something. See if they can. I mean, the economy. The good thing for GODsent is the economy for NiP isn't that strong. They've had a couple rounds where they've got some decent amount of kills, so there's not too much of a bank built up. NiP can sustain, you know, maybe 1 round loss, but after that, GODsent has the opportunity, if they can string 2 rounds together, to really close the gap a little bit just by going up against pistols, but they have to win those 2 rounds, and it has to be soon. They're running out of time to make this play.
Well, here we go again. Back into the server, back into live. GODsent with their mixed match of weaponry, with their Kevlars and their upgraded pistols, looking to do it. Pitts actually go for a peek. If he misses this shot, he could be a dead man, and that could afford the B push to come in, but he's landed it, and there's GetRight as well. 2, 3 kills. He's looking for a 4th. He runs out of bullets. We're single-handedly locking down the B side. I thought it was going to be all on Pitt. What I didn't factor in is the GetRight.
One player's made it out, though, and that's Pronax. He gets 1 kill. There's Pitt, though, and he's going to respond with the last 2. But 3 kills for GODsent. That is going to keep this money low. It's going to force some drops, force some buy-ups, so there are going to be a couple players with very low money on the NiP side. A little bit of a underrated play out of Pit there when he's pushing with Get Right. As soon as he misses that first shot, as soon as they realize the force they're against, he just bails out.
Just gets the hell out.
Very, very smart play, and you just say, all right, Get Right, sorry, do what you can, I'm out of here, stay alive, wait for the teammates to come. Oh, nice pick from Twist, though. He gets the opening kill onto Forest. That's going to force back some of this aggression out of NiP. Mid control goes in the way of GODsent, except for Pit. He stays on Catwalk. This young player has really come alive here for NiP.
He certainly has had quite a quiet game against VP, but he's landed some massive, massive frags, bringing us back to a 4v4. GODsent do have mid control, but again, now Freiburg steps up for the shadows of Forest. He's typically the connection control. Player in Palace is going to be Twist. He's going to be trying to peek out with that AWP, see if he can get a pick. But for the time being, NiP are just waiting again.
They trust a lot at Get Right at the moment. He's got Catwalk to worry about. He's got the B tunnels to worry about. He's alone at this B bomb site. With 3 members, this is it's a great read from NiP. Freiburg, Exist, and Pit all ready to deal with any kind of A-hit that comes into play. There's the first one, though. Twist wins that battle. See you later, Exist. Freiburg now towards Connector. He gets dropped as well.
Oh, that no-scope could be everything to GODsent. 40 seconds left, 2-on-2. HP advantage firmly going in the favor of NiP, but Twist still has that AWP. And now it's all that remains. Pit's missed his chance. Is he going to get punished for that miss? Twist now out in the open. 20 seconds left. Flashbang onto CT side. Get Right still in connector. Very nearly gets picked off from Twist. He's just a couple millimeters away. Twist is going to try and fake out. In fact, actually holds down onto the site. Get Right's doing damage, picks him off through the box. And there's only a certain amount of places that Twist could have been in that situation, so smart play from Get Right. NiP will take a 14th round.
You could see, though, Twist had to go on the hunt there with the clock dwindling down and the bomb in his hands. He had to try and find one of those 2 players. He had him isolated just on positioning in one-on-one situations, but can't land the shot. And then his only hope from there is to get the bomb planted behind that smoke before it fades. So NiP outlast them. Twist made it possible, but Get Right on the rotation gets there just in time.
He was so close to hitting Get Right in connector as well. And that could have been the difference makeup. As it stands now, a 5-round lead has opened up for NiP. Will be another buy for GODsent. That tactical timeout hasn't seemingly worked too well for GODsent so far. Here comes the push onto short. And Forest is going to get the better of that confrontation. It's actually Pit now that's going to be holding on to connector. Decides against it. You got the first pick. Don't give anything away.
Still a very passive defense from NiP with that pick, just backing up into their sights, letting Pit get the information or get the long-range shots of that AWP. Exists playing very passively, but it's all on GODsent, trying to boost up to get a pick on Catwalk, trying to find anyone. Oh, and that's smoke.
Whoops. That's pretty crucial as well, actually.
Yeah, that's a big mistake at this point in the match. So Twist is going to try and find something now, and actually it's going to be Freiburg, who's got to be very careful not to expose himself too much. There's the op, though. Twist can't find the shot, and still this boost has not been fruitful. It has given them absolutely nothing. Although Forest, oh, just as they get down, that's heartbreaking. Forest with the dagger, and it's down to a 1-on-5. Falf, he's just going to run up one flashbang out, and he's just going to see what he can get, and it's absolutely nothing. NiP on the verge of making it to the grand finals.
6 match points. Timing was a very real threat for GODsent. As you say, though, they held on to that boost for a long time. It just gave them absolutely nothing in the end, and here we go. As soon as they turn their backs, Forest is there, double headshot.
Even if they were stacked up, that still might have been a slaughter for Forest because they were peering up at Catwalk. But either way, all that's left for GODsent to do this last round, they have to make it work with 3 Tech 9s, and they've given up map control. Switch tactics completely. Now they're just going to go for a standard execute onto this A bomb site. Schneider to lurk in mid. But here it is.
Molly thrown down, that's going to stop. Initial charge actually filters off a couple plays. Oh my goodness, GODsent have actually got themselves 2 kills. Freiburg is doing what he can. There's 2 kills for him. 2v3, Get Right and Pit. AK, in fact, pardon me, an M4 and AWP respectively for the 2 remaining ninjas. Just the 1 AK in play and has been picked off. Get Right now with 21 health. Finds himself in a sketchy position. player on Tetris, he's spotted. Gonna be flashing himself out of this one. Smoke is down as well, gets picked off from the cross from Schneider. GODsent has saved one of those 6 match points.
5 more to go and $11,000 on Pit the burn through. He's gonna go right back to the AWP, and that just about does it. He also had to drop an M4 over to a teammate. So if GODsent can win this round, they may have done it. They may have finally broken the economy, and that'll allow them to close the gap a little bit more. Molotov usage on that execute was superb. On top of balcony to force that player away. They bust up any stack, any crossfires that NiP had, and Pronax aggressively in B halls. He's gonna get challenged by the AWP of Pit eventually.
Yeah, Pit's gonna have a quick peek in a second. Just hiding around the corner is Pronax. If he bides his time and waits here, he will definitely get rewarded. But Pit actually just throwing the smoke, a small gap, and pounces on top of it. Cat-like reactions.
Oh, that is nasty. What a jerk. That angle in the smoke, so cruel. Boost up from Palf though, and Twist once again. This has been very effective, this AWP in Palace.
Him and Lekro really have been the 2-star players, I'd say, today for GODsent. Molotov into Shadow, forces out the player. Forrest, meanwhile, Connector again, gets the bomb dropped. That's hilarious. That's just absolutely brutal for GODsent. 2v1, Palf. Can he save the semi-finals? He's being tagged up from short, picked off through the wooden panels. And GetRight will secure the semi-finals for NiP. They go through to the finals to face off against Na'Vi.
Starts it off with that incredible Pistron, and he ends it with that last kill. So fitting for GetRight. But NiP, surely they were tested in this series. GODsent hit a level we didn't think they would. They brought NiP to the brink here on those first 2 maps.
Crowd very pleased, very appreciative of that fantastic match. And you know what, I think GODsent can hold themselves high here. They can have their chins up and realize we came into this not really expecting too much. We went to the semi-finals and very nearly progressed through.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the players, the performance out of Lekro in this series was absolutely insane. They've got a lot of promising things going on in the future, but at least for the moment, NiP still reigns supreme. Taught him a few lessons here and there. I mean, Mirage, just you could, that ability for NiP to be so down in the first half. They're getting just battered. It was what, 8-2 at one point, and then they make this comeback right at the end, which gives them enough of an opportunity into the second half. So, just a beautiful performance from NiP to be able to come back in that.
Okay, well, we do have an interview on the stage. Smix is with GetRight, so take it away.
Congratulations to NiP as they move on to the grand finals. GetRight, I spoke with Freiberg yesterday after your guys' win, and he said how much it means to make it to the top 4, be in the semifinals after, just a long period of time of reevaluation, revamping the team, and now you guys have made it to the grand finals here in Malmö, Sweden. What does this all mean to you so far?
It means the world to me, since everyone has always been giving us criticism for a long time, and especially to thanks man, to Exist and Freiberg for giving them shit online and so on. So it means the world for me too that we can prove everyone wrong, especially since everyone has been saying that we are dying space, like species or something like that. So it's a nice thing to be in the final. We just want to be playing the final and make it to another good show.
Now, this semi-final series was so action-packed. It felt like it went back and forth a lot with the momentum swinging both of your teams' ways. What do you think were the crucial things that NiP did that finally got the win in your favor?
The crowd.
Fair enough. The crowd here in Malmö Arena has been absolutely amazing. And as I was watching this series, I was wondering, did you get any flashbacks to DreamHack Winter 2013 as Pronax and Schneider, that it was right when Pronax had just joined Fnatic and they were sort of the underdogs and you faced them at the finals there and they took you guys down 2-1 and for a moment there, it looks like it would be sort of a repeat of that incident.
Don't talk about the memory, please.
All right, bad memories, bad memories. Now, moving forward, obviously, we saw that you guys beat a lot of tough opponents to get here. You beat VP, Astralis, and now you just beat GODsent. And coming up next is going to be your hardest opponent of the tournament so far. It'll be Na'Vi. Now, obviously, you're showing a much more revamped NiP, but what are your thoughts on this upcoming match?
We just want to win the final and giving everything, and we want to do it for our fans that's been supporting us since forever, you know. So that's our only goal. And now I've been saying it to everyone who's been saying me like before this game, like, yeah, you're gonna meet Na'Vi in the final. I'm like, how can you even say that? GODsent is a really good team, and I've been saying it before to like friends and so on, and been like jinxing myself, like, yeah, we're gonna go to the final. Then all of a sudden I lose against X team, Y team, or whatever it is in tournament. So it's been one step at a time, and now we're in the final, and we have one goal left, and it's to win the final.
All right then, well, congratulations again to Get Right and NiP. They will be facing Na'Vi in the grand finals.
I can confirm they will.
Indeed, they will. I'm Alex Machine Richardson, and I don't
You
think
know the score, and we know the score.
Indeed. I mean, maybe I should start my segment so I can actually make sure. Hey, the Score Esports application, check it out right now. It's available for news, stats, all of that. Look at it right there. Go check it out. You can do that, and there you go. Jobs are good. And now, Duncan.
Yeah.
Why have you got a big smirk on your face? NiP have done it and will be in the grand finals versus Na'Vi. I just want to I like to let you get it out early so we can actually do some analysis.
I mean, on the desk, it was 2 against 1, and my prediction was 2 against 1,
yep.
and their prediction was 2 against 0, because they thought I'm a 0, but actually I'm 1. I am the 1. So 2 against 1, I win.
Right,
I was the only one who got
Time's
ahead.
up. Time's up.
2-1.
Smug mode off.
Okay.
We are going to do some proper analysis after we get some quick emotions from Parla, who's standing by. He's grabbed the nearest player he could find as NiP advance to the grand finals.
We are going to try to be quite quick because Threat and the guys need to eat and recharge, which they definitely deserve after that game. What are your initial thoughts after that match?
I was really scared. Beginning on the first map, they had a 6-0 lead. And when we've been practicing Cobble, we've been just stomping everyone on our T side. I think Pronax had a really good read on us on almost every single map. So yeah, it was a really scary series.
Talking about recharging, you guys, after a series like that, there's been talk, you know, between all of us backstage that it's so difficult to be as prepared as you can be for the upcoming match because your energy levels must be going down. You must already feel like you've been through an absolutely epic war.
Yeah, I mean, 3 maps overtime on the second map. The last map, it was 16-9, but it was a really tight map anyway, so we're really tired now. We're hopefully, if we get some food, maybe some energy drinks, I'm definitely going to have a cup of coffee. I think we're going to play well in the final as well.
Okay, and so you said you picked Cobble because you guys have been smashing everyone on it in practice. When it came to in practice in real life, on a real high level, did it work out exactly how you thought it would? Because it ended up being quite close, 16-14, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, as usual, Pronax has all these sneaky rounds. Beginning on the pistol round, he has had a trap set for us in mid with a crossfire, which is a very risky move, but we just ran into the trap and yeah, just lost the pistol after that. It felt like he had a good read on us on all the first weapon rounds. I think they were up 6-0 at one point. After that, we had a little chat and we said, okay, obviously Pronax knows what we're doing, and we just tried to change our playstyle, and we got at least 7 rounds at half.
When you have players on your team that are playing players on other teams that they've been, you know, competing against for so long, especially someone like Pronax, do you, as coach, do you feel that does it feel very, almost, not physical, but you can tell that you're battling another brain almost, and that there's this kind of clash of, you know, head and skill?
Yeah, definitely. Even back in 1.6, I played him so much, and that's one of the main reasons why we dislike playing Swedish teams, because when you know each other's playstyle so well, it almost becomes this kind of rock, paper, scissors type of game.
Yeah, well, last thing, because I do want to let you go and recharge and eat and stuff. Na'Vi, grand final. Firstly, how does it feel for you to be in this grand final? And then secondly, what do you think about Na'Vi, the chances, etc.? It's
going to be maybe the best experience in my Counter-Strike career, being able to play in front of a Swedish audience like this. It's going to be absolutely awesome. But the final itself is going to be really, really tough. We struggled a lot with Na'Vi in the past. We had a really close game versus them in Katowice. So it's going to be very, very tough, but hopefully we can beat them.
Okay, Threat, well, we will see. Best of luck. You are free to go and eat now and recoup with the team. Get ready for this final matchup. The crowd were behind you in that last one, and I'm sure they will do the same in the final against Na'Vi.